Shakespeare has helped make nearly 422 words. Now here are some of our favorites.
Oh, no.
Arch villain!
Batty.
Dog weary.
Enfranchisement.
Generous.
Honey-tongued. Idle-hearted. Juiced.
Wiki.
Land-wrapped.
Mad woman.
Michael.
Noiseless. Overcredulous.
Puking. Well, no, that one's disputed. So, puppy dog. Quarrelsome.
Retirement.
Revolting.
Satisfying.
Tardiness. Useful.
Useless.
Vulnerable.
Well-bred.
Yelping!
Zany.
Zany!
Our first scene is from As You Like It. The melancholy Jacques dwells in the forest with the exiled Duke. In this scene, Jacques and the Duke are moping over how lonely it is as they dinner when Orlando, a young lover, comes to join them. The Duke reminds Jacques they are not the only sad people in the world. Jacques is not reassured and is here to explain how he sees the world. Act 2, Scene 7, The Forest.
All the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier full of strange oaths and bearded like a pod, jealous and honest, sudden as quick and quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cap and line, with eye severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6-age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his useful hose well saved, and his big manly voice, turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends the strange, eventful history, is second childishness in mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Our next scene is from Hamlet. Hamlet is a play about a teenager in crisis who has to deal with morality issues of whether to be or not to be. He struggles with identifying the crisis and how to solve it by trying to separate the truth from deception. Revenge may be the name of his game as he handles conflict with others and within himself. He has to figure out what is or isn't rotten. In this piece, we meet Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, school chums of the Danish prince Hamlet, and now spies dispatched by the king and queen of Denmark to watch over Hamlet and confront him with a charge from the royal court. Hamlet ridicules them and states they've joined him in his prison. Hamlet exposes their deception and shows them how rotten Denmark has become. Act 2, Scene 2, A Castle.
beggar that I am, even poor in thanks. But I thank you, my good dear friends. My thanks are dear half a penny. Were you sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come, they speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything to the purpose. You were sent for, and there's a kind of confession in your looks, whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Nay, I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
And I will tell you why. And so in my anticipation, prevent your discovery from the king and queen, moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all exercises of custom, and this will weigh heavily in my own disposition, that the goodly frame, the earth, seems to me to be a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you! This brave o'erhanging firmament, this magic sickle roof, fretted with golden fire, why it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how expressive and admirable! In action, how unlike an angel! In action, how unlike a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals! But yet, to me, what's the quintessence of dust? And delights. Not me. No, nor woman neither. Though, by your smiling it seems to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Then why did you laugh when I said, man delights, not me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what led to the entertainment the players shall receive from you? We courted them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
Sonnet 18, one of the best known of the 154 sonnets, written by the English playwright and poet William Shakespeare. In the sonnet, the speaker asks whether he should compare the young woman to a summer's day, but notes that the young woman has qualities that surpass said summer's day. Sonnet 18.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometime declines by chance, or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou oust. Nor shall death drag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growst. So long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
The next scene is one from Midsummer Night's Dream. Here we will have two of the four lovers involved in a love triangle subplot of the play. The story starts when Hermia is to marry Demetrius, who loves her, even though she has fallen in love with Lysander, who also loves her. Meanwhile, her childhood friend, Helena, loves Demetrius. What is obvious to us as outsiders is not obvious to our teenage lovers. Clearly, this love triangle has a 2-and-2 solution, making the rational choice to just run from their problems the four lovers take off into the forest, which is inhabited by fairies. While the four sleep, a fairy trickster, Puck, puts a drop from the magic flower in the eyes of the sleeping. This flower makes you love the first person you see. What should have been an easy fix was not. Unfortunately for Hermia, when the boys wake up, they find themselves both now in love with Helena. And Hermia, spited and confused, she is ready to take things into her own hands.
Oh, me, you juggler! You canker blossom! You thief of love! What, have you come by night and stolen my love's heart from him?
Faith, ill faith, have you no modesty, no maiden shame, no touch of bashfulness? What, will you tear patent answers from my gentle tongue? Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet you!
Puppet? Why so? Aye, that way goes the game. I see she hath made compare between our statures. She hath heard her height, and with her personage, her tall personage, her height forsooth she hath prevailed with him. And are you grown so high in his esteem, because I am so dwarfish and so low? Hello am I, the painted maypole, speak! Hello am I! I am not yet so low that my nails can't reach unto thine eye!
I pray you, though you mock me, let her not strike me. Perhaps I think because she is something lower than myself that I can match her.
Lower? Again? Oh, mistress, all this coil is long of you!
Good Hermia, do not be so bitter with me. I have more did love you, Hermia, did ever keep your counsels, never wronged you, save that in love unto Demetrius I told him of yourself unto this wood. He followed you, for love I followed him, but he hath took me hence and threatened me, to strike me, spurn me, nay, to kill me too. And now she will let me quiet go to ask until I bear my folly back, and follow you no further. Let me go, you see how simple and how fond I am.
Why, get you gone. What is it that hinders you?
A foolish heart I leave here behind.
With Lysander?
With Demetrius.
Oh!
When she's angry, she is keen and true. She was a vixen when she went to school, and though she be but little, she is fierce.
Little? Again, nothing but low and little. Why will you suffer her to flout me thus? You, mistress, all this coil is long of you. Nay, go not back!
I will not curse you, I no longer stay in your kissed company. Your hands and mine are quicker for fray. My legs are longer, though, thrown away.
Oh, I am amazed and know not what to say. Oh!
The Comedy of Errors is a play about mistaken identity, death, a bedroom farce, or of a lover's spat to solve a lover's contrary, and a father's quest to liberate a misconvicted son. In this monologue, we meet one of the twins, Antipholus of Syracuse, as he tries to convince his lover that he is her true lover and not an impostor, and that his love is not mistaken for another.
Sweet mistress, what your name is else I know not, nor by what wonder do you hint of mine. Less in your knowledge and your grace you shall not, more than earth divine. Teach me, dear creature, how to think, how to speak, lay open to your gross conceit, smothered in air is feeble, shallow, and weak. The folded meaning of your words deceit. Against my pure truth, why labor you to wander in an unknown field? Are you God? Would you create me new? Transform me then into your power I yield. But if that I am I, well then, your weeping sister is no wife of mine, nor do I bend no homage to I owe. Far more to you do I decline. Oh, train me not, sweet mermaid, to thy note, to drown me in thy flood of tears. Sing, siren, for thy something I will dote. Oh, spread over the silver waves thy golden hairs, and there in a bed I will take them and there lie. And in that glorious supposition, think, He gains by death what hastens means to die. Let love, being light, be drowned if she sink.
A Midsummer Night's Dream is a play that is set in Athens and consists of several subplots that revolve around the marriage of Theseus and Hippolyta. One subplot involves a conflict between four Athenian lovers caught in that love triangle, Hermia and Helena, you may recall. Another follows a group of 6 amateur actors, the Rude Mechanicals, rehearsing the play, which they are to perform before the wedding. There is a lot hanging on this group of Rude Mechanicals. So, despite not everyone having any acting experience, they must do their best to gain the approval of the Duke Theseus. Is all our company here?
You were best to call them generally man by man, according to the script.
Here is a scroll of every man's name, which is sought through all Athens to play in our interlude before the Duke and the Duchess on his wedding day at night.
First, good Peter Quince, say what the play treats on. Then, read the names of the actors, and so grow to a point.
Merry our play is, the most lamentable comedy and cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe.
A very good piece of work, I assure you, and a merry. Now, good Peter Quince, call forth your actors by the scroll. Masters, spread yourselves.
Answer as I call you. Nick Bottom, the Weaver.
Ready. Name what part I am for, and proceed.
You, Nick Bottom, are set down for Pyramus.
What is Pyramus, a lover or tyrant?
A lover that kills himself most gallant for love.
That will ask some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to my eyes. I will move storms. I will condole in some measure. To the rest, in my chief humor is for a tyrant. I can play Hercules rarely, or parts of Terra to make all split. The raging rocks and shivering shocks shall break the locks of prison gates, and Phoebus' car shall shine from far, and make him mar the foolish fates. This was lofty. Now name the rest of the players. This is Hercules' name, a tyrant's name, a lover's more condoling.
Francis Flute, the bellows mender.
Here, Peter Quince.
You, Flute, will take Thisbe on you.
What is this be? A wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Nay, faith, let me not play a woman. I've a beard coming.
It is all one. You shall play it in a mask and speak as little as you will.
And I may hide my face. Let me play Thisbe too. I will speak in a monstrous little voice. Thisbe, ah, Pyramus, lover dear, thy Thisbe dear, lady dear.
No. You can play no part but Pyramus. And, Flute, you, Thisbe.
Well, proceed.
Snug the joiner. You will play the lion's part, and I hope here is a play fitted.
Have you the lion's part written? Pray, if it be, give it me, for I am slow of study.
You shall do it extempore, for it is nothing but roaring.
Let me play the lion too. I will roar, that I will do any man's heart good to him. I will roar, that I will make the Duke say, let him roar again. Let him roar again.
You should do it too terribly. You'd fright the Duchess and the ladies that they would shriek, and that would be enough to hang us all.
I grant you, friends, if that you should fright the ladies afterwards, they would have no more discretion but to hang us. But I will aggravate my voice, so that I will roar you as gently as any sucking dove. I will roar you and twirl any nightingale.
You can play no part but Pyramus. For Pyramus is a sweet-faced man, a proper man, as one will see in a summer's day. The most loving, gentleman-like man. Therefore, you must needs play Pyramus.
Well, I will undertake it. What beer do I best to play it in?
Why, what you will! But masters, here are your parts, and I am to entreat you, request you, and desire you to come then by tomorrow night, and meet me in the palace wood, a mile without the town. There will we rehearse. For if we meet in the city, We will be dogged with company and our devices known. In the meantime, I will draw a bill of property, such as our play wants. I pray you, fail me not.
You will meet, and there we may rehearse most obscenely and courageously. Take pains, be perfect. Adieu.
In the Duke silk we meet.
Enough! Hold or cut bowstrings.
Hecate's speech in Act 3, Scene 5 of Macbeth is one of the most important supernatural elements of the whole play. Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft's appearance in the play, represents a major foreshadowing of Macbeth's downfall later. Not only does she rebuke the witches mingling in Macbeth's affair, but she also conveys very early to the audience that she will take care of the mess they have made of things. This speech happens after Macbeth decides to go see the witches again, right after he sees Banquo's ghost repeatedly haunting him. Macbeth has a premonition that something terrible will happen. This turns out to be Hecate's involvement in the situation. She makes Macbeth's downfall happen faster, because the supernatural elements and catastrophes only proliferate once she takes charge.
Now, Beldames, for you are saucy and overbold. How did you dare to traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death, while I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to play my part, no, or to show the true glory of our art. And, which is worse, all that you have done has been but for a wayward son, wrathful, spiteful, who, as others do, loves for his own ends, and not for you. But get you gone up, and at the pit of Acheron, meet me in the morning. Thither he shall come to learn his destiny. Your potions and your charms provide, your spells and everything beside. I am forever. This night I'll spend unto his dismal and fateful end. Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop, profound, and I'll catch it ere it comes to ground, and that, distilled by my magic sleights, shall raise such artificial sprites as by the power of their illusion shall draw him on to his confusion. He shall spurn love, scorn death, and bear his hopes above wisdom, above truth, above fears. Well, you all know, insecurity is mortal's chiefest enemy.
from The Tempest, one of Shakespeare's last plays. In this earlier scene in the play, we'll meet Prospero, the rightful Duke of Milan. He was betrayed by his brother Antonio, who stole Prospero's dukehood and exiled him from his home. On the island he was exiled to, he used those books to learn sorcery, and eventually freed the spirit Ariel from a tree. Now that Prospero had a chance to get back at Antonio, he sent Ariel out to create a fake tempest to make Antonio think his ship would be destroyed. How did it go? I'll let Ariel tell you themselves.
Come, my servant. I'm ready. Approach, my Ariel, come!
All hail, great master! Grave sir, hail. I've come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into fire, to ride upon the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding, task Ariel, and all their quality.
Why, that's my spirit. Perform to the tempest that I bade thee.
To every article. I boarded the king's ship. Now on the deck, now on the beak, the waist, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometime I divide and bird in many places. On the topmast, the yards, and bowsprit when I flamed distinctly. The meat and join. Jove's lightnings, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps. More momentary and sight outbutting were not. The fires and cracks of sulphurous roars, those mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble. Yet his dread trident shake. Not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. Then all fire with me. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstarting, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leapt. Cried, hell is empty and all the devils are here.
Why, that's my spirit. But what's that nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
They are. Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And, as thou badest me, in troops I had dispersed them about the island. The king's son had landed by himself, my left cooling of the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, sitting, his arms in this sad dell. Now safely in harbor is the king's ship, in the deep nook, where thou didst call me up at midnight to fetch dew from the stove experiments. There she's hid. The mariners all under hatches stowed, whom with a charmed joint to their suffered labor, I have left asleep. As for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they are all met again and upon the Mediterranean float, bound safely home for Naples, supposing they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perish.
But Ariel, thy charge, great as performed, but we have more work to do.
Is there more toil? Well, since thou hast given pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which has not yet been performed.
How now, Moody? What is thy kindest demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out no more!
Prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistaking, served without grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
If I had promised you that time, Ariel, dost thou forget the torment that I freed thee from?
No.
Dost thou?
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing. If thou murmurest of anything, I will rend thee to an oak and peg thee into the naughty entrails until thou howls away 12 winters!
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command And do my spiriting gently. I will make myself like a nymph of the sea, be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. I shall go hence with diligence.
And I will follow you there, Ariel.
The Scottish play, better known as Macbeth, opens on a bleak Scottish moorland. Macbeth and Banquo, two of King Duncan's generals, discover three strange women, witches. The witches prophesize that Macbeth will be promoted twice, to Thane of Cawdor, a rank of the aristocracy bestowed by grateful kings, and King of Scotland. Banquo's descendants will be kings, but Banquo isn't promised any kingdom himself. The generals want to hear more, but the weird sisters disappear. By Act 4, Macbeth becomes king, although quite insecure. He decides to seek out these weird sisters again, to see what they may be up to.
Thrice the blinded cat has meared.
Rice and one the hedge pig whined.
Harper cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails flow. Cold that under cold stone, days and nights has 31. Swelter venom sleeping gut, boils I first in the charmed pot.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of any snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf. Of the raven, salt sea shark, root of hemlock, dig in the dark. Liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat and slips of ewe. Silvered in the morn's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips. Finger of birth, strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab. Make the gruel thick and slab. Add Theatro a tiger's chaldron for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with baboon's blood, then stir until cool.
Bubble, bubble, life and trouble brewing up inside these spiffy, spiffy hills that I see using me so easily. It's we, the nasty three old witches. Bubble, bubble on the double, tell me who is pecking. Battle, battle, I won't tattle, I'm not even looking. It's we, the nasty three old witches.
What a scream, what a thrill from a tiny little pill.
What a roar, what a screech. It's not mellow, it's not meek.
And your throat will be sore for one entire week.
one entire week?
Yes, one entire week. Bubble, bubble, lots of trouble. Bubble, bubble, on the double. Bubble, bubble, lots of trouble now.
By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
Oh, then I see. Queen Mab will be with you. She is the fairy's midwife and is to come in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with her team of little atomies athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spiders' legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers. Her chariot is an open hazelnut made by a joiner squirrel or old grub, time out of mind the fairies' coachmakers. And in this state she gallops night by night, through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love, or courtiers' knees who dream on courtesy straight, or lawyers' fingers who straight dream on free fees, or ladies' lips which dream on kisses straight, which oft the angry Mab with blisters plagues, because their breasts with sweetmeats tainted are. And sometimes she gallops over a courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out a suit. And sometimes she comes with a pig's tails, tickling a parson's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out of another benefice. And sometimes she riddeth over a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breaches, ambuscados, Spanish blades of 5 fathom deep, and then anon drums in his ear, and thus being they start and wake, and thus being frighted swear a prayer or two and sleep again. This is that very Mab. Now I wish upon you good luck and sweet dreams.